Rashi asked a question at the beginning of this parsha. Why is the Maisa of the Meraglim, the spies, right after the Maisa of Miriam? So Rashi says, Roi v'lo lekach Musar. They should have taken Musar from what happened with Miriam. Why did they take Musar? They saw what happens when people speak Lashon Hara. They wind up with Saras. Why did they take Musar? They should have took Musar and they shouldn't have spoke Lashon Hara about Eretz Yisrael. Rav Chaim Shmuel Levish wants to say, Ube'emes hataklis ha'onshim ba'alam hu k'dei lomod es adam Musar. The purpose, this is a big yesod here, the reason why Hashem gives us punishment in this world is for us to learn and for others to learn. We see from here that others should have learned. We see from here, from the punishment that Miriam received, she should have learned, and also the spies should have learned. They also should have learned. That's the tachlis of punishment. Hashem is not bad. He's not evil. He's not trying to beat us up and kill us and hurt us. He wants us to learn. He wants us to change our ways. Like a father to a son. He doesn't want to beat the kid. He wants the kid to go in the right way. That's the purpose of punishment. Right? Mida keneged mida. And that's why punishment is mida keneged mida. If you sin with the tongue, something happens to the tongue. If you sin with this part, something happens to that part. In order that you should learn to see that the message should be clear. Okay? Now, this is like this. And I'll prove to you that the purpose of punishment is to learn from it. Listen to this proof. This is great. Where is it? Rashi explains that the Maisa of Yosef with the brothers, we see how it was all Mida Keneged Mida. Exactly. Why? Because he used to bring bad reports against the sons of Leah. He would say to his father, they used to eat a live aver of a lamb. Children of Leah were saying to the other children, you guys are avadim, you're children of a shifcha, you're children of slaves. And not only that, but he was saying they were suspected of doing znus. Okay, that's what he would go back and tell his father. Because of that, Rashi explained, Mida Keneged Mida, they got 3 punishments. The fact that he said that they were Ever Min HaChai, they were eating from a live animal. In the Maisa, just before they saw it, they were going to eat the lamb, they shechted the lamb. They took the blood, they put it on the clothes of Yosef, but they ate the lamb. But you see, they shechted a lamb. They don't eat Ever Min HaChai. Since you said about the sons of Leah that they were making fun of the shifcha, the sons of Bilhah, for example, that they were slaves, because of that he was sold as a slave. Since Yosef said to his father, they're doing immoral things, so because of that, the Bas Potiphar, Ashes Potiphar, came to Yosef. So comes along with Chaim Shmuel Levish, he says, I don't understand. I understand the one punishment, the fact that you said that they were slaves, so you were sold as a slave. The fact that you said that it's nus, so you had to think it's nus. Those are big punishments. Those are big tests. You could have lost this Olam Haba. But what's the point that the fact that you said they ate Ever Min HaChai, that they shechted a lamb and they put the blood? Where's the punishment? Good kasha, right? It says in the pasuk there. It says Rashi says, because of these 3 things that they did, these 3 punishments they received. They were loke. They received punishments. They were hit. But where's the hitting when it came to shechting the lamb? They weren't hit. The answer is that's also called hitting. Why is it called hitting? Since he saw clearly that they didn't eat from Ever Min HaChai, that they shechted the lamb, and they didn't just kill the lamb stam, or they didn't just so that was like the makak. Because the whole purpose of punishment is to reveal to the person what they're doing wrong. So that also has a din of a punishment. That was revealed clear in his face. He saw that they shechted the lamb. So you see from here you learn from here that the tachlis Rashi called it a punishment. And it's a riot that a punishment is really to reveal to the person what they're doing wrong. So the fact is, it's very hard for us to accept these things. We have many things that happen to our lives, all kinds of sorrows and all kinds of problems. We do not want to see the teva of man is he doesn't want to see the Mida Keneged Mida in the thing. He really wants to ignore it. And he brings a great raya, a great example of this. So that one time, one of the wives of one of the Gedolim, one of the great Torah scholars, their wives did not want a certain shidduch for their daughter. Why? There was a guy, he was a wonderful guy, a beautiful guy, he was a Talmid Chacham. The problem is he had a bit of a limp. His leg was a little bit, something problem with a leg. The wife says, no way, not for my daughter, we're not getting this guy, forget about it, we're not going to have this guy. So a month later, she's bringing a cup of hot milk to her husband in the morning. And on the way, she trips, the milk spills, and she breaks her leg. So afterwards, she's in the hospital and she's thinking to herself, I know why this happened. I know why this happened. Because I was trying to force, my husband was weak. I was trying to force my husband to drink milk before he left the house. And you're not supposed to drink milk before you daven. So that's why it happened. That must be why it happened. So you see, she rationalized it. She didn't want to accept the fact that the reason why that happened was because she pushed away that shidduch, and the guy had a bad leg. So Hashem broke her leg and say, listen, it can happen to anybody, you know. She didn't want to accept that fact. So she tried to rationalize to say, you know why it happened? Because I'm bringing hot milk to my husband before davening. That was his one raya. And his second raya is a famous raya. Hanina ben Ozer. It says that Hanina ben Ozer was a false prophet. And Yirmiyahu cursed him and said, listen, you're going to die before the year is over. You're going to die before the year is over. So he's getting sick. It's Erev Rosh Hashanah. He sees that this is it. It's over. I see Yirmiyahu's words. You're going to be Mekayim. I'm going to die. So he tells his children, listen, don't bury me till after the Rosh Hashanah. Wait. Put me on the side here. Don't bury me. Because even to his last minute, he didn't want to admit that Yirmiyahu was really saying truth. He didn't want to admit. He said, telling his children, don't let people see that I was really wrong. I was really off. He wants to come out clean, not key. So there we see a raya for that. So since we see that it's difficult for a person to accept upon himself the mina keneged mina of his own punishments, Hashem many times makes punishments dafka for other people, and he has to see what happened to a different person and what happened to us. Which is true which is what happened by the Meraglim. They should have learned from Miriam. It didn't happen to them directly. It makes their punishment even worse. Okay, what happens to you? You're no gay, but you don't really accept the fact that you're wrong. But if you see it happen to somebody else, at least learn from it. At least learn Lashon Hara is a bad thing. And he brings another example. There was another example of a Saduki that went into he did the avoda. He changed the order of the avoda, and he came out all happy, right? So then after that, 2 days later, he died. He did the order wrong. He was all happy, but he died. So they said they found him in the garbage pile, and they saw a worm coming out of his nose, right? Why out of his nose? Because they said the nose was the first thing that went into Kedoshim Kedoshim. He was supposed to do the incense before, and he went into Kedoshim Kedoshim first, and then he did the incense afterwards, because that's what he held. Because his nose wound up first, entered the door into the Holy of Holies, and now he got punished from his nose. So that punishment couldn't have been for him. He's already dead. Why dafka his nose? So that other people should see. You see what happens if you don't follow what Hashem says? You see what's going to happen? Dafka the nose. And another example was the way that the Meraglim died. The way the Meraglim died was the tongues came out of their mouth. It's not going to affect them. They're on their deathbeds. You know what I mean? That was really for other people to see it. So since it's hard for us to accept the mina keneged mina and our own suffering, we don't like to say why this is happening. We don't like to look at it. We don't want to accept that really the real message. So Hashem makes it through other people. One last story. When Rav Chaim Ozer passed away, the Russians came and took over Lithuania just before the Holocaust. This is the beginning of the Holocaust. He passed away. They had Rav Shach. Rav Shach gave the Levaya of Rav Chaim Ozer. He asked the kasha like this: what's worse, to be over a mitzvah aseh or to be over a lav? It's obvious to be over a negative commandment. To be over a negative commandment is obviously much worse than to be over a mitzvah aseh. So if it's true that a mitzvah aseh is less of an avera as compared to being over a negative command is a bigger avera, why when it comes over to being a lav do we only get 39 makos? But if a person doesn't want to do a mitzvah aseh, we keep hitting the guy even till he dies. Why do we keep hitting him? We should stop at 39. Why is the guy who's not doing a mitzvah aseh get a bigger punishment? What's the answer? The answer is when you hit the guy for the bigger punishment. When you hit a guy for a lav, he already got the 39 lashes. But when you hit the guy for the future, you're trying to motivate him. When it comes to motivation, the punishments don't stop. Why did he say this? He said this. Rav Shach said this era of the Holocaust. He was telling the people, listen, you get one punishment. If you don't listen, you get another punishment. And if you don't listen, you get another punishment. And it's not going to stop. It's a mashahaya. It was like a nevuah. What do we learn from this? We have to learn from what's happening to us, from our SARS, what's happening in the world, all the things that are happening in the world, all these SARS that are happening to Am Yisrael, our personal SARS. We have to learn from them. We have to see the mida keneged mida, the tit for tat. Why is that happening? We have to learn from it. We have to grow from it. That's what Hashem wants from it. And that's the purpose of the punishment. Hashem is not bad. Hashem is not evil. It's just there to teach us. That's what Hashem wants from us.